Welcome in. We're following breaking news at this hour. President Trump signed an executive order just about an hour ago calling for the dismantling of the Department of Education.
Of course, it is another executive order. This one is the one stripping resources from the department, the first step towards eliminating that agency entirely. The White House said the department will retain certain critical functions like Title I funding for low-income schools and money for children with disabilities. Congressional approval is needed if they were to try to fully get rid of the department. This afternoon, Trump said that he hopes Democrats would vote in favor of it. Later this hour, we'll share some local reaction to the order. Despite the cool weather outside, educators were putting the heat on lawmakers with thousands of teachers flocking to the state capitol this morning. They're demanding that schools be fully funded. They're calling for an end to proposed cuts and changes that they say would impact schools. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause was there. And Rachel, this brought in educators from all around the state.
Yeah, I saw teachers from Eagle, from Breckenridge, Poudre, and Aurora all out at the Capitol today. For some, it was spring break. For others, their districts closed, and some needed to call out sick to be there. But thousands of teachers made it in to call on lawmakers to fully fund schools.
Up with the teachers!
From the classroom to the steps of the Capitol.
Down with Taylor!
Colette Simpkins is lending her voice to this sea of educators.
Fight!
Calling on lawmakers not to cut school funding.
And wherever you teach, this affects every single one of us, and we have to show up every day for our students so that they get the education that they deserve.
The West High School visual art teacher has had enough.
It's infuriating, honestly.
She's not alone. Beth Gershman says being away from her students isn't easy, but it's necessary.
This is about the long term. This isn't about just today. This is about what is it going to look like next month, next year, in the next 5 years. So that's why we're here.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Colorado has long had low levels of state funding for schools. Teachers thought that was finally turning around after lawmakers approved a new funding formula for schools last year. Now, lawmakers are weighing cuts to balance the budget, and a proposed change to the funding formula is expected to bring $150 million in cuts for districts.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, well, $150 million is a cut. Where's that going?
Frustrations from teachers are bubbling over, sending thousands to the Capitol from around the state to make their voices heard.
But about 80% of our Summit School District the staff came, which is about 250 of us, traveled down from Summit County to be here today.
For Jennifer Polk and Lorna Wolf, the long trip is worth it to tell lawmakers how years of belt tightening is burning out teachers and impacting kids.
It's something new is added to our plate every single year. It's getting crazy. There's no way to do our jobs within the time frame of our paid hours. There's no way.
In the large crowd, some of the smallest supporters stand out.
We want to come out here to support our teachers.
Colette hopes their message makes its way to lawmakers. Colorado schools just want to have funds.
We are not going to let you cut our funding silently. We are going to be here until you give our students what they deserve.
Teachers say the school's funds on the state's chopping block are the cherry on top of a funding problem that the state has had for years. The state put out 2 studies a few months back showing Colorado schools are underfunded by about $4 billion. Teachers say there's nothing left in budgets for lawmakers to trim further, saying Colorado kids will pay the price from bigger classes, fewer supports, and burned out teachers. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Rachel, thanks very much. A lot to cover.
Well, since it's on spring break, Poudre school districts donated buses and drivers so their teachers and families could head to Denver for the rally today. 2 buses full of people left Fort Collins about 10 this morning. We spoke with the dad, who is a special educations teacher. He and his son say they felt the need to participate since education funding changes could affect them directly.
I teach in the Thompson School District, which is the Loveland area, Berthoud also. I'm a special ed teacher.
And when things start to personally affect us, that's when we as individuals need to let the government know that we won't stand for this and that we have a voice.
Everyone who hopped on the buses this morning wore red and painted signs. They said this rally really needed representation from northern Colorado.
Well, spring is here. It's also closing day at Ruby Hill Park's rail yard. Today was the final day to ride the terrain park for the season. Starting tomorrow, the park's going to begin to remove the features. And now that spring's here, it's time to prepare for the outdoor summer events coming up at Ruby Hill. Chris Spears was out riding the rail today on the last day. How'd it go for you?
Oh, no injuries. That's the good news to report there, Tom. We had a beautiful start to the new season here. Spring arrived this morning shortly after 3 o'clock. The only thing I wish we could have changed, this mid-level cloud cover, a pretty thick plume of moisture passing overhead about 20,000 feet up. You can see that here. I have the satellite layer turned on to the radar. Didn't hold temperatures back, though. We still made it into the 50s. It would have been a little warmer without that cloud cover. We're at 57 now at the airport, 54 in Akron, 60s down in the Arkansas River Valley. High country, you had a little bit more sunshine because the clouds passed over you earlier in the day. So we have 30s and 40s up there with 50s out west. We are watching the wind, not as bad as it has been, but we do have sustained winds 10 to 30 miles per hour across the state. But I'm zooming in here to the Front Range for a reason. We have a setup in the atmosphere developing that may channel a little pocket of strong wind right here along the foothills tonight, and we're seeing that. Some of these gusts are already over 40 miles per hour in parts of Boulder County, and some of that wind is going to spill into the I-25 corridor into the evening hours. We have some warm weather, some mountain snow, some fire danger, all kinds of stuff to get to in your main forecast coming up.
Thank you, Chris. Purdue Pharma has come out with a new bankruptcy plan, transferring all assets to a new company. The OxyContin drug maker said Purdue Pharma will be dissolved. The new public benefit company will also focus on the opioid epidemic, though. This comes about 2 months after Purdue agreed to a $7.4 billion settlement. That deal resolves thousands of lawsuits which allege OxyContin caused a nationwide opioid addiction crisis. The owners will have no ownership interest or role with that new company. The second measles case in the Fresno area of California is now being linked to a grocery store. The new case is an unvaccinated adult. Health officials say that the risk to the general public remains low, but measles symptoms can take up to 3 weeks to develop. According to the CDC, as of last week, the total cases across the United States is already more than last year's total. In all of last year, there were 285 measles cases nationally. This year, already 301 cases. 95% of the cases this year are with unvaccinated people. Well, the madness has taken off today, kicking off the NCAA games around the country. Pretty exciting day at Ball Arena is seeing a lot of the action as well.
Yeah, we're seeing some big crowds showing up for their teams all day long. 9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles joins us live at Ball Arena. Oh, I know it's so fun for those folks who are cheering on their teams.
So much fun, Alex. We're seeing folks coming from all around the country, people right here in Denver. We are still in game 2 right now, BYU Cougars and the VCU Rams. But the basketball and frankly the booze, that's really started very early this morning because the very first game of the day, Wisconsin-Montana, tip-off was at 11:30 in the morning. And plenty of fans told me they were hitting the bars even before that.
Go Wisconsin, go VCU.
On Wisconsin! So we're told session tickets were sold out. You can still get some stuff on resale, but it is not cheap. I was looking even between sessions today, guys, so games had already started. Cheapest I could find was $150. We have been talking to fans, truly, from all over. Lots of people who traveled here to watch their team, and a lot of Colorado transplants who live here now but have their college team out of state. Also, just a lot of basketball fans, people who did not care who was playing in round 1. They just wanted to be able to catch some really good basketball games.
I am here with my husband and my in-laws and my kids cheering on the Badgers. My husband and I both went to the University of Wisconsin, and we were just thrilled that Bucky came to town to visit us and we could cheer him on.
We're visiting from Provo, Utah. And we were hoping BYU didn't get sent to Rhode Island because we didn't want to go all the way to Rhode Island. Hopefully we just came here.
Every 5 minutes after the selection committee went on, I was like, are we going to play here? And what time is it going to be at? Because we had to work today.
Yeah.
Right. Ooh, let me tell you guys, the number of folks I busted playing hooky today from school or from work who were willing to go on live television and tell us that, Outstanding. There are 2 more games still tonight. We have got Yale versus, sorry, I'm pulling up all my stuff here. Texas A&M and Yale tip-off around 5:30. Michigan versus USC San Diego. That's at 8 o'clock. Also, I don't know if you can see this. People are starting to gather outside, but also a bus just pulled up with what looks like the Yale's cheer squad or some sort of, one of the, I don't think it's the band, but I'm seeing like banners and what looks like perhaps cheerleaders. It's just so fun, right? College basketball. I've been seeing the buses coming and going, the bands coming and going, the little bitty kids in their outfits. Love this time of year. March Madness is so fun. And here it is, round 1 in Denver. Woo-hoo.
So you turn around to the Yale people and you yell, "Bula." That's their word. Bula.
Is it?
Do it. Yell "Bula." Come on. Bula.
He might be setting you up.
Well, and guys, as I'm sitting out here, I'm running into people I know who are in town for various games too, which is just so fun. That's like the fun part about college games, right?
Yeah.
Like you never know who you're going to run into.
Well, those fans from Provo certainly have enjoyed the trip so far. They're leading VCU pretty healthily going deep into the second half now. So
Is that on my bracket? I got to check.
you can't let this work thing get in the way of following your bracket, Alex. That's
right.
rule 1. Jenny, thanks. We'll see you at 5 o'clock.